Hello, everybody. This is Allen Devlin with Atlanta News First here at the First Alert Desk. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight's top stories. A couple of things I want to run through here with you. I've actually got four for you today I want to talk about real quick. And then, as scheduled, we're going to jump right into weather with meteorologist Patrick Pete, who's going to walk us through probably one of the hottest weeks we've had this summer so far, with some potentially record-setting heat coming up, or at least record-setting for the last several years of temperatures here in Atlanta. This is a video that you probably have seen over the weekend go viral if you are tuned into any social medias for the Atlanta area. And it shows a driver doing donuts in a popular intersection here in Midtown and then running into people as they try to get away. I want to pull that video up for you right here. It insane, I should say. So take a look. This is Northside and 17th. Drivers doing donuts out there at the intersection. And then a GSP trooper pulls up and the drivers decide, all right, we got to get out of here. And then what happens next is what everyone is talking about. The driver in the pickup tries to get out of there and runs into people right there. You see him taking out some people as he drives through. That GSP officer swoops in and hits a classic pit maneuver there right on North Side, right in front of the package store there on North Side. Gets out and immediately confronts that driver. You see his hands come out of that window, and that police officer pulls him, yanks him right out that window, and places him under arrest. And that is something that's been everywhere. It's been viewed millions of times at this point. It's a national story at this point. And it just kind of shows that we continue to have a street racing problem, a drag racing problem, this stunt racing problem here in Atlanta. It happens all the time, and those tire marks remain at that intersection of 17th and North Side right now. No major injuries. You see a couple of people here get hit by that pickup truck as it was leaving. Some of those people sustained injuries, no severe injuries, only minor injuries, we've been told, which is good news. But regardless, GSP is saying if you do that illegal activity of street racing or doing donuts at intersections, they will catch you. The next story I want to talk to you guys about here is out of Fulton County. It has to do with some breaking news that we just got into Atlanta News First here within the hour, I should say. We now know that former President Donald Trump is going to be turning himself in to Fulton County authorities this Thursday. That is what we have been told. Of course, the deadline is Friday at noon. He had either today or any day up until Friday to turn himself in. Sources with CNN confirm that day will be Thursday. So Atlanta News First will be bringing you top to bottom coverage as Donald Trump and the other 18 defendants are all set to turn themselves in here in the next 5 days. None of them have turned themselves in yet. But what I can say is that we do know that a lot of these people have started negotiating bond deals with Fonnie Willis. Many of them, their teams spoke today. And I want to put up all of them on the screen really quick here if I can find that for you guys. So a lot of them have been speaking with attorneys. Legal teams showed up to the courthouse today to discuss what needed to be done, how much. What we saw was anywhere from $50,000 to upwards of $200,000, which is what Trump is doing at $200,000. A lot of them got $100,000 bonds, $75,000 bonds. But no matter what, they all have to still report to the Fulton County Jail by Friday at noon to get fingerprinted and likely mug shots that will then be distributed to the public. Sheriff Potlabot has said multiple times that they're going to treat every single one of these defendants as they would anybody else. No one is going to get any special treatment outside of ensuring their continued safety and support as they move through the legal system. And the last story I want to talk to you guys about here today before we jump over to weather here is a pretty serious story. A Georgia sheriff has pleaded guilty to groping a TV judge, a famous TV judge here, Judge Hatchett. And so we've got, I believe, Rebecca Schramm, who walks us through what that looks like and the whys.
I don't care if he apologizes.
Judge Glenda Hatchett says justice was served after Bleckley County Sheriff Chris Cootie pleaded guilty today to sexual battery for a groping incident involving the TV judge.
There had to be accountability because the message needs to be clear that you cannot do this.
Hatchett met Cootie at a sheriff's conference in Cobb County in January 2022. It was during an introduction she says Cootie grabbed her breasts and continued to touch her inappropriately until former DeKalb County Sheriff Thomas Brown intervened.
I have never felt so helpless in my entire life. And I was angry, frankly. I was angry that I didn't slap him. I didn't kick him.
Hatchett says she prides herself on being a strong woman, but the experience deeply affected her, so much so she sought counseling.
I could not even get up to go and get something to eat. That's how, in what horrible shape I was.
She says the last 20 months have been difficult, the legal process marred with delays, actions Hatchett believes Cootie's legal team orchestrated to manipulate the system.
Until this today, when he resigned, he has been on salary and will have his full benefits. And so that is outrageous and it's unacceptable.
Still, she says she will continue to be the voice for the voiceless and had this message for other sexual assault victims.
I just want to say to the victims out there, speak up. People have to be accountable.
And there you have it. So a number of stories going on here today. The PGA Tour Championship is coming to Atlanta, Eastlake, starting, I believe, the 24th. We're going to be out there. We were actually out there today. We're going to have teams out there all through the week and into the weekend. I believe it ends on the 27th. I'll be field anchoring out there starting tomorrow. So catch me at 5, 6, and 7 starting tomorrow for more on everything that is golf, everything that is the culmination of the FedEx Cup here that is going to end right here in Eastlake, in Atlanta, I should say, at Eastlake for the time being. Someone else that's going to be out there, actually, is meteorologist Patrick Pete, who's going to be joining me now to talk about some hot weather. Because, Patrick, it has been insanely hot here these past couple of days, and it's only going to get worse, right?
Yeah, man, we're going to be melting out there together. So looking forward to that. I'm already hydrating. I drank about 3/4 of a gallon of water, I guess. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How are y'all doing? A beautiful day across Atlanta. Just a little hot, right? Just a little hot. Yeah, we're seeing that area of high pressure just scoot a little bit further towards the east, and as it does, that's just going to cook us as we head through the next couple of days. So I wanted to go ahead and jump into the setup because obviously when things start to get to one level of the extreme, we like to know why. And what's essentially happening tomorrow is area of high pressure that's been a little bit further to the west is scooting a little bit more to the east. We do think that the hotter temperatures, the more abnormal, unseasonably hot air will be to our west and to some of our neighbors to the north. But we're close enough in on that circulation that we will definitely feel some of that as we head through the next few days. So that's why we're forecasting temperatures that are going to be into the upper 90s. We could even see some of these record temperatures come very close to breaking them one or two of these days, but we'll flirt with it for a large chunk of the 7-day forecast. So just be prepared for it. It's about to get really hot. First alert Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because of these temperatures that are just going to be a bit exhausting. Let's get you through tomorrow, where I do think we'll see a few more clouds. And if you were with us last week, you may have seen that we actually had originally the forecast high for tomorrow at 100 degrees last Wednesday or Thursday. We were already thinking that we would get to 100 for Tuesday, but we've trimmed that number down about 2 degrees because we do expect to have a little bit more cloud cover around, and that elevated cloud cover should prohibit us from hitting 100 in the city, although I'll be watching extreme south, the extreme southern portions of our area, because that's where we could see some of those triple-digit temps. I don't expect that for most of us, but we will see some triple-digit feel-like numbers, and that's prompting the National Weather Service to issue heat advisories for folks that are in Randolph County, Heard, Coweta, all the way to Clayton, Lafayette, Henry, all the way to the east, and that's going to include Clark and Coney counties as well as Oglethorpe and points to the south. So that little line is where we're going to have the best opportunity to see those feel-like temperatures top 105. 98 degrees for a high here in the city tomorrow, and you can see those feel-like numbers soaring. The reason why Atlanta proper at this moment is not under a heat advisory is because it looks like we're going to see ourselves fall about a degree or two short of that. But either way, it's just going to be uncomfortable to be outside. It's going to be hot. It's going to be ridiculous. Feel like numbers in the triple digits for a large chunk of the afternoon. So if you're going to be out and about like Allen and I tomorrow afternoon, look for some shade. Maybe you have one of those little portable fans that you can kind of put on your neck. Blow some air. Yeah, I'm going to have mine out there tomorrow. Hydrate, all of those things. Heat safety is going to be important. Whenever these feel-like temperatures get above 95, that's whenever heat-related illnesses like heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heat cramps, they all become possible. And then once you get into the triple digits, it comes very likely for those conditions if you're prolonged to exposure out there. So something for us to be aware of as we head through the next day or so. Meanwhile, temperatures still warm as we head into your Wednesday, expecting numbers to be in the upper 80s by lunchtime, into the mid to upper 90s around the time you're driving home from work. So that's just going to be a hot evening commute. Roll up the window and full blast. You know, I rarely use remote start on my truck other than in the wintertime. This is one of those weeks where I'm going to go ahead and give you the green light to maybe use the remote start. Just make sure you have the AC setting on so that when you step into your car, you have a nice, comfortable temperature. I never see anybody do that in the summertime. So green light to go ahead and try that out and tell them I told you. Temperatures are going to be warm as we head into Wednesday night. So if you have plans to do Wind Down Wednesday, Bible study, any of that good stuff, it's going to be hot. Look at this 11 o'clock forecast. 86 in Atlanta, 87 in Thomaston. It's just going to be warm through the overnight. Lots going on. We're looking at a pretty dry forecast for the next few days, but we are keeping an eye to the tropics because at the end of the day, this is traveling season. A lot of folks are getting those last minute cruise deals, or maybe you're going down to Jamaica, Puerto Rico, any one of the island locations to, just get away for a while. So you have to keep an eye on the tropics. We do have several systems out there. Post-tropical cyclone Emily, that's a long way of saying that this system is dying. So we're no longer worried about that. It's probably going to be the last observation that we get from that system. Tropical depression Gert actually weakened this afternoon. And then we are tracking Tropical Storm Franklin, which hasn't really been that organized, but it does have the potential to actually become better organized over the course of the next few days. So guidance is trying to bring it in as a Cat 1 hurricane someday down the line over the next few days, over the next week. Right now, it's just not looking that great for it. We are keeping an eye on a system that looks to make impacts to the United States over the course of the next day. Actually, this should happen tonight. Right now, Tropical Depression 9 has winds sustained at 35 miles per hour. It's moving swiftly to the west at 18 miles per hour. You can see those showers already moving in. There are tropical storm warnings that are in effect for portions of southern coastal Texas, as they're going to get some rain here. And I do think that this is going to be a rainer. This is going to be a soaker. This is going to be something that has potential to cause some inland flooding because of the amount of water that it's going to bring in as far as rain. But other than that, I don't think these folks are going to have too big of an issue with the wind. They can handle 45 miles per hour winds. This should make landfall sometime within the next, I'd say 12 hours or so. So we'll continue to monitor that as we head through the night. But otherwise, our forecast at home is just looking dry and hot. Going to be on the humid side the next couple of days, but guidance is trending the humidity down a little bit Thursday. Still going to be hot, just will not be as unbearable as tomorrow and Wednesday. That heat advisory for tomorrow is a big deal. But then look at those warming temperatures as we push into Friday, Saturday. Could get to 100 degrees across parts of North Georgia Friday and Saturday. We're going to eventually reintroduce moisture back into the forecast, so we'll be able to see the opportunity for some isolated pop-ups Saturday and Sunday afternoon. But looks like our best chance at seeing some scattered rain will arrive on Monday. So lots going on with the forecast. It's been a busy Monday. There's been a lot of breaking news. It's still breaking over there. I'm going to switch to YouTube because I know a lot of you all are joining us. Several of you are actually live streaming right now. What's going on, Joe? Hopefully you're having a good Monday. I know a lot of y'all are joining us at home, and I hope that y'all are too. We're here for a good time, not a long time, so I'm going to leave you with the 7-day forecast so you can get what you need to go, and you can catch us in about 45 minutes on Peachtree TV. Have a good night.